What's going on, everyone? Talon here, and welcome to another Future Fight video. Alright, so yesterday was Infinity Thanos, and I was kind of just messing around with some tier 1 characters and trying them out against him, and when I tried Titania here, I kind of was a little surprised at how well she was doing, so I went ahead and recorded my next run after that, and she did quite well for me, so I thought I would just post this quick little video on it, kind of showcasing Titania a little bit. So let's take a look at her first before I show you that clip. So right now I have her gears at 17. The option I have set for her is skill cooldown, and that is so I can get max skill cooldown with her. We're at 49.9%, so pretty much at cap there. Besides that, she doesn't really have any of her other stats up too high right now. Her ignore defense is only at 16.5%, crit damage is only 129, and crit rate is only 20%, so nothing too spectacular there. Let's see, for her skills, the only ones that we really have maxed out are her third skill, which is the kind of Sharon Rogers type skill where she's immune to damage and she gathers damage taken, and that increases her attack. And then we have her fourth skill here, which is another buff skill that gives her all attack, all defense, all speed. And then for her ISO 8 set, we do have an attack one. We have Power the Angry Hulk. And finally, for her custom gear or her Obelisk here, we have Immune to Guard Break, Recovery, and a 3 seconds of Invincibility. So, I was not able to, just so you know from the start, clear it completely with Titania here. But it does seem very possible. I was just not paying attention as much towards the end to my skill rotation, but she can pretty much be immune to damage for most of the fights. There's just a few things that can change that kind of. It seems almost RNG related, and I'll show you if I can find the exact place in the clip where it happens. But anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at her versus Infinity Thanos. Okay, so here's my fight against Infinity Thanos here. We're just going to be using Kamala Khan and Spider-Man for the team-up bonuses. They both give her some all-attack and physical attack, which is going to help out with her DPS. And then we are going in with pretty good strikers, but that is because it's Infinity Thanos. These are kind of just the default strikers that I use when I'm fighting Infinity Thanos, no matter what characters I'm trying out with. They're mainly just all attack strikers, and then I have Supergiant in there just because she's a one-attacking striker and can do some pretty nice damage. But even with the strikers probably doing a pretty sizable chunk of damage to Infinity Thanos throughout this battle, the fact that Titania was so good at surviving is kind of what caught my attention here. So basically what I was doing was I was activating the third skill right away, and then I was using the first or second skill, doesn't matter which order, but I do the 1 and 2 skill, and then I go to the fourth skill to get the buff, and then I go into the fifth skill for the iframe, and then that leads me back to the third skill. So pretty much through that whole time, she's going to be not immune to damage, but she's going to be immune to damage while she's doing her first, second, and fourth skill. And then you enter the fifth skill kind of when the damage immunity of the third skill wears off. And then the iframe from the fifth skill gives you just enough time to be able to activate the third skill, like right when she lands from jumping up at the end of the fifth skill. And that's right when she starts being able to take damage again, so it kind of works out perfectly. So if you're really good at keeping the rotation going, you can actually keep her immune to damage the whole fight. But I do mess up a few times, and then also what I was mentioning earlier about the RNG was that for the fifth skill, and I have noticed this with other characters that have kind of longer iframes, where they're still like kind of like on the screen and just jumping around or something like that, is they tend to get hit sometimes during the iframe. I'm not sure what triggers that, but I don't remember if it actually happened in this particular fight. But I will be using the fifth skill, and she will be in the iframe before she jumps up, and Thanos was using his lasers, and it would actually do some damage to her, and sometimes even guard prick her out of it. And I've had this happen, of course, with Gwenpool as well when I use her fifth skill and she's dropping the presence around. like partway through that skill, I will just randomly start getting hit and taking damage, and I don't really know what triggers that. I'm not sure if it's maybe the timing of when you use the skill. If you like maybe use your iframe skill like half a second or something after the enemy uses their skill, maybe you have a chance of still getting hit or the iframe not going through properly. Because also during this fight, I haven't seen it yet, but I was using the fit skill, and also during the time that she was in the iframe, like right in the middle of it, he just goes right into his meteor shower and it didn't interrupt him, which is also just seems like a little touchy thing, so I'm not sure what determines that. But anyway, if you are careful, it does seem like she can pretty much do this on her own and just keep that damage immunity up, and hopefully your iframe will work on the fit skill, and that will keep you pretty much safe the entire fight. But as you can see in just a minute here, she is going to get knocked out, and then I will just finish the fight with Spider-Man. But for the most part, Titania was able to do this, so I was quite happy with her performance, and now I might actually be really looking at her for tier 2, kind of like get a fast track, because her tier 2 is pretty decent as well. She gets a heal and damage boost off of that. Of course, it's not going to be active the entire time. It's only about half the battle, because I believe it was 10 seconds with a 20-second cooldown. But anyway, this was just a little short video on Titania here that I felt like sharing because I was quite happy with the results. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.